Very good.
Good morning and welcome to the Village Authors monthly session. Today we have Victoria Huggins Peurifoy, multi-talented author, vocalist, and more, and she will be presenting a workshop on journaling. I turn it into Victoria's hands right now.
Hi, everybody. Um, well, Patricia already introduced me, so I appreciate you, Patricia. I appreciate you inviting me on the Village Authors. It's a wonderful opportunity. Um, but I would like you guys to introduce yourself, give me your name, and also tell us, as an icebreaker, tell us what you'd be willing to give up for a year. Would it be eating out or shopping? You got your choice. So I would be willing, I will be willing to give up, I don't know. I guess maybe shopping because I don't need a darn thing, so I'd give up shopping.
I would give up eating out because my budget has already told me that I spend too much eating outside of the home.
Okay.
And I have been trying to curb that every month. So I would choose eating out.
Can I ask you this? Do you
Yes.
find that this is for everybody. Do you find as you get older, you tend not to want to cook?
Yes.
I I
Yes.
don't cook since John is gone.
Oh,
It's easier for me. It's cheaper actually for me for one person to eat out than it is to cook
mm-hmm.
Oh,
because
okay.
it's hard to cook for one person.
Yeah, it can be.
So, mhm.
I
So,
I used to eat a lot of cereal. That would be my go-to, but I don't do that anymore.
mhm.
So introduce yourself, ma'am. Mary.
Mary, oh, okay. Hi, I'm Mary Lou Griffin. I was married to Victoria's cousin, John Griffin, who just passed away a few months ago. So I am here as a newbie and I'm mainly here to listen.
Okay, but you're
So
gonna have to
you
participate. So I hope y'all have some paper and pen.
can.
Make sure you got some paper and pen. Pam.
Okay, I do have.
I am Pamela Blandon Gottbold, a um, photographer and a writer, poet, and I would give up uh, probably both because I don't do either too much, but I would say eating out. I don't tend to eat out much at all. So when people like come into town and they want to know what to go and where to go in Philly, I'm like, I'm not the one to ask because I eat a lot of salad. I
Mm,
don't particularly enjoy cooking for one person either, but
Mhm.
I also don't like eating out. The expense for the amount, like if I go someplace and I don't, and the food isn't voluminous enough for me to bring home a doggy bag, that was not a good
that
thing for me
upset
to
you.
eat.
So,
The
uh,
first thing I do is usually cut my meal in half so
mhm,
that I know I'm coming home with something to eat later.
okay.
And don't
So,
make me have to buy something when I go out. You know, in some places you go, you have to buy X, Y, and Z to sit at the table to
mhm,
enjoy whatever. I'll forego it.
okay. But Mary Lou, what are you willing to give up?
I don't know
You
because
like shopping?
my shopping, I consider that, I do purchases for everyday things. I order everything on Amazon and they deliver it right to my door. So I don't do a lot of going out and shopping. But a brief tip on the food, on the one person thing. I I order food and go pick it up, and then it's enough for 2 or 3 meals for me.
Hmm.
So actually, you come out cheaper in the long run to order something and just pick the food up and bring it home, and then that way you have it for You know, if you eat it all, if you don't, you've got it for another meal. So,
Right.
but I don't know. I don't know how I could give up either one. I That's difficult for me. So,
Okay. Well, I understand, and I mean that makes a lot of sense. Pam can attest to this. A few weeks ago, Renette and I did a show up at this restaurant called Jacob's, and we all, everybody could just order their own food. Well, oh my God, there was so much food. Like they had a
Mhm.
bowl like
Right,
this. If you
right.
order greens, you got a bowl like this of
Mhm.
greens. I'm like, I gotta eat
Mhm.
all of this for 3 days.
I know. That's why I pick it up and bring it home. Then I use it for 3 days.
Right. So, well, look, let us go into our journaling workshop. Now you may have to help me with this, Patricia, with uploading the actual video PowerPoint. Patricia,
Uh, I am still operating from my phone, so
so can
I will
you tell me
try.
can you tell me how
Oh,
to
yes. Yes. Let me first you go to the bottom and hit share screen.
oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, right here. Oh, there it is. Okay, and I see what I want, I think. Let's say
And then just double click on the actual PDF.
okay. But I want to show this.
You
Well,
opened up the PowerPoint. You
that's
should have
what I
opened up the
want.
PDF.
That's what I
Oh, you
wanted was the PowerPoint.
okay.
So
Do
now,
you want to go to slide up top? Not that far up.
not there,
Wait a minute. Read them from left to right.
where it says from beginning to recurrent
The
slide.
second one from the left. Go up one more.
I think
Right there. There
that,
you go.
there we
And
go.
each time you hit enter, or if you do the tab forward button,
Mm-hmm.
it should go to the next slide.
Okay, cool.
So you could test it now if you want to.
Yeah, I think we're
Um,
good.
yep, yep. If you want to go back, just hit the arrow. You know those four arrows up, down, left, right. There you go.
Yep.
Okay,
All
good.
right, so we're going to begin. I want to welcome you to the journaling workshop. These journaling workshops got started a few years back when my daughter-in-law had asked me to do a journaling workshop at her temple. And I did it there. It was, a big hit. Everybody loved it. Then a group called Pride, who works with parents of very young children that are like in daycare, she asked me to present one dealing with hair, but it was still a journaling workshop. So I applied for a grant called the Bartol Stockton Grant, and I got it. And so as a result of that grant, my proposal was to be able to present these workshops. So the Museum of Black Joy had me to do one, Writers Room at Drexel University had me do one, and I did one at Center in the Park. So the last one I just did was in Charlotte, North Carolina, when I went to the Durham Griffin family reunion. So that was a really wonderful opportunity because they did something a little different at that reunion that I had never seen. They had like daytime activities for families didn't want to go out shopping and all that kind of stuff. So they had four workshops and they were sequential. You did one, then you did one, and they had a break, then you did the next two. So I was a part of that. So it was really, really good, and I was really appreciative of that. So um, basically, can you see the whole screen?
Mhm.
Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. All right, so you can read what it says there, but journaling, like the question is, what is journaling? And journaling, it allows you to mentally and emotionally get away from whatever those stresses are that are around you. And I used to sit on my back porch and write and pray because it reduced the tension that I was feeling. And some say you should journal, your journaling should be intentional. However, I say when the mood strikes, go for it. Because I think when it's always intentional, it's so rigid. There's a is a rigidness there to me. So journaling helps you with your anxiety levels. And if you take the time to write down what's going on right now, right this moment, how you feel about it, how you also can consider what you like to see happen in the future. It can really make a profound difference in who you are and what's going on in your life at the time. So, I'm gonna ask if um on the we're gonna go around round robin. I don't know, we lost Pam, but the benefits of journaling. Journaling can help you do what, Mary Lou? Read the yellow line,
Process your emotions
right? And gain control
and
over
get
them.
control of them. Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
It allows for personal growth. Journaling can help you do what, Patricia?
Set goals,
Hmm.
track your progress, and build new habits.
That's right. The next line is, your stress reduction allows you to relax. We need
Mhm.
to relax more than we do. We stress about too much stuff. Journaling can help you do what, Pamela? Read that line for me.
Journaling can help you manage your time and responsibilities, which can reduce stress.
Okay. And journaling is a creativity enhancer. I mean, you can come up with all kind of reasons why you can journal. Um, and then journaling can do what, Mary Lou, you're next again. Can do what? Can be what? The
Joy
last.
and creativity, and it's an enhancer for your creativity.
But the last one,
Oh,
journaling.
okay. Journaling can be a creative outlet where you can try different colors and mediums.
Right. So there's an emotional release. It allows for your personal vulnerability. It allows you to leave your comfort zone. With your journaling, if you are fearful, write it in your journal. Journaling is for you, it's not for the world. And I have a story about that. One of the journaling workshops that I did, there was a young lady, said it was like there was an epiphany when I said that to her, right, to the group. And she raised her hand. I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "You know, my mother died a few years ago, but my mother had mental issues. She had mental issues like mostly all of my life. But she used to journal all the time, and we found boxes and boxes of journals." So she said, I used to read, when she died, I read all her journals, and I was so angry with her, she said. And she said, what you just said now this gave me pause. And I said, why is that? She said, because now I realize that her journals had nothing to do with me. It was her way of coping. Yes, ding, 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 ding.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, because I remember my daughter got really angry with me because when they were coming up, they each had their own little journal, and I used to write in it and everything. But she read it and she said, and you didn't have anything positive to say about me. I said, can I see the journal? Of course, she didn't want me to see it because she knew that it wasn't all negative, right? But I often thought that I was in love. I'll say I was in love. I was very much in strong like. But I journal and I journal because it can be cathartic. You are like a paintbrush of words, individual thoughts and ideas. Because thought cathartic meaning it involves a strong emotion through a particular activity. You know how you feel when you're watching a movie and all of a sudden you start bawling like a baby. You just crying your eyes out. You may not even know why you're crying, but something in your sensory memory has made you think of something else, right? So writing is the same way. Sometimes you can write, and sometimes it'll make you mad because it'll make you think of something, and sometimes it'll make you feel better. Um, like how, for example, uh, the sun is shining, there's plenty of light. A new day is dawning, sunny and bright. Since I lost my baby, right? You remember that song from back in the day. But when
Hmm.
you had lost your baby, you probably felt some kind of way about that song at the moment, but it's just that's another explanation of cathartic. But anyway, I'm gonna go on because I'll get crazy.
I
Um,
just want to say, real quick, I love your description, paintbrush of words.
Mhm.
mhm.
And then it occurred to me, you are not only a writer, you are a artist.
Yes,
So when you say paintbrush of words, it carries a little bit more weight. And
oh,
I just
But yeah,
love
too,
that. I just really love the way you did, really the way you said that, and everything else. I'm writing my notes down. So
okay,
anyway,
good.
I
That's what I
just
told you. I
wanted to
need your
say that.
notes.
Mhm.
Now in college, I have this up here, but have you ever felt like you could just get lost in writing in your thoughts? Have you ever thought about that, Pamela? Because I know you write all the time. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about Pam. When I first met Pam, it was during the pandemic, and we were doing poetry on the Zoom. And she came on the first time, and she said, "Well, I wrote something about my sister. I'm not a writer, you know. I wrote something about my sister," and she just went on and on. And I said, "Well, read it, share it with us." She read it. Took her 5 minutes to get through it, straight through reading. I said,
Mhm.
"Excuse me, miss, please don't say you're not a writer anymore. You are definitely a writer." But I was going to say, when I was in college, I wasn't, when I wasn't doing homework or when I wasn't working, I was journaling because I often thought, I told you I thought I was in love and I was just doing all these different things. But let's see here. Look at that picture. That's not my painting, y'all. But what I want to know is, what have you ever journaled at all? Has anybody in here ever journaled?
Yes.
What did you journal?
I journal at different phases in my life. My journal took on different, like back in the day, we called it a diary. So
Mm-hmm.
from 14 to about 30, it was just that, writing down whatever happened every day, what I thought about what happened, my fears, my joys, my secrets. And
Mm-hmm.
then around 30, mid 30s, it changed to a prayer slash praise journal.
Mm-hmm.
And then from then on, another 10 years or so, I continued journaling in that vein, more of writing my prayers down, conversations with God, still including worries and fears and joys and pains, but the instead of it being like a journal to myself, it was to God.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of trailed off, and I don't journal anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Pam. Did you journal at all?
um, I did a little. Mine's, I think, was mostly associated with um when my marriage ended.
Mm-hmm.
So it was probably a lot around gratitude, trying to find the good in a day,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff, trying to find a way to be forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to do. So, and I need to do some, if not journaling now, I need to do some work around affirmation. So I need to create the journal that's going to be the affirmation. So that's part of my being here and listening to Florence Shovo Shin and others, her and trying to put together some stuff around the gift of life, the
Okay.
game of life and how to play it, understanding the laws of the universe and being actively involved and putting them in place because we bring to us what we say and what we think and what we fear.
Mm-hmm. Well, later we're gonna deal with a little affirmation, but we're not there yet. Did you read my PowerPoint before? No, I know you didn't. But anyway, excuse me, Mary Lou, have you ever done any journaling?
I have not, but I'm a huge note maker.
Well,
I make notes on everything, and uh, that's the extent of my journalism.
okay. Well, you find later in the PowerPoint presentation that you can use your journals for that purpose.
Okay.
So, let's see here. Okay, so your paper, your journal, whatever you're writing on, you see that big circle?
Okay.
Draw a big circle on your paper. Now, what I want you to do is write something in that circle about you, things you know about yourself, things you wish you understood about yourself. Just write words, don't write sentences, just write down words. Um, just take a few minutes and do that. It could be positive, try to be positive, whatever words you're using. No negativity allowed.
Mhm.
Okay, do you have at least 6 or 7 words?
No, I don't.
Keep on
What
There
going.
was a
kind of
few more
thing?
minutes.
What kind of things are we looking for? I'm
Know about you. Who are you? Things you know about yourself, things you wish you understood about yourself, things maybe you would like to do by yourself or whatever.
Oh, geez, that's difficult because I go do everything I want to do.
Okay. So
That
write
I
those things,
think
write those
about.
things down. That's a part of who you are.
Okay.
Okay. So let me see here. This was my scribble. Free access. I think I put the words on the side. Those were my words. Access, tough, belief, strength, obedience, laughter, free. So those were my words that I wrote. Now what I want you to do, now you got your words in your circle. So now what I want you to do is create a poem or a 6 word story about you using those words. So whatever you write, whether you write a poem or you write a 6 word story, you should try to include either all of those words or some of those words that you selected.
Hmm. Okay.
And when you do these little exercises, I want you to be honest with yourself, be positive. If you're an artist, you can express yourself artistically. What kind of creative things do you do? Journal it.
Well, I know for sure I'm not a writer.
We're not gonna go there, okay?
Right.
Okay, take another minute to try to finish your thought. Are we ready?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Wow. Ooh, that was good.
Okay, first I want to hear the words that you wrote. Pam?
Okay. I wrote caring, giving, want to travel, want meaningful income source, want love and companionship. And
Oh,
my 6-word story is
wait a minute, wait a minute. I just want to hear the words right now.
okay.
Patricia, what were your
My
words?
word, my words were believer, funny, smart, sensitive, and observant.
Oh yeah, I like those words. And Mary Lou?
Good. I had caring, love, giving, doing, and fixer.
Okay, that's good. Now, y'all saw my words, so I don't have to tell you what my words were. Pam, can you tell us what you wrote? Did you write a poem or did you write a sentence or did you write a story?
I did the 6-word story.
Okay.
Travel world, caring, giving, love returned.
Okay. Okay, very good. And Mary Lou, how'd you make out with that?
Um, I'm not doing very well with this, but you want the words that I used?
Yeah, you told me the word you used. I want to know what you wrote using those
Oh,
words.
okay. I let me just read what I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
When I wake in the morning, the first thing I do is go to God in prayer. As I mentally make my list for the day, I wonder what I can share.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a nice poem.
I like
Mhm.
that. I like that. That's beautiful. See, you're a poet and you didn't know it. Patricia?
Okay, this poem is called The Seer. Her faith and her humor abide inside a smart, sensitive heart with observant eyes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
See, I'm so different. I got to write a whole story.
Because you're the writer.
And you see the words highlighted. Those
Mm,
are the words that were those were the words that were in my circle. So I said, strength is a barrier to weakness taking over, resilience covered in a thick skin. It elevates one to believe in themselves. Laughter softens stress. Love is a comforting hug, which allows one to accept a smile that has been waiting to share itself with the world. Obedience allows for access to the Father in heaven to share pride in your achievements. You don't always have to be tough. Sharing one's heart can help strengthen others.
Whoa.
very nice.
So now I put that on one of my paintings. As you can see, that's one of my paintings there on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
So you can be all kind of creative, anything you want to do. So, um, in a normal setting where we be live, I'd have a whole great big bag full of journals. And these are some of the things that are specific journals. Um, like gratitude note, everything that you're grateful for. I had a grateful journal. And every morning I would open up that journal and I would write what I was grateful for either the day that happened, what happened the day before, or that day. Some people write what they call bullet point journals, where instead of a long sentence, you're writing notations or affirmations, as Pam had mentioned earlier, or you just writing random thoughts. So Mary Lou, all those papers you got scattered all over the house with your thoughts and your notes, you need to put them together in one place. Because when you're thinking about that one thing you wrote and you can't find it, at least if it's in your journal, you'll know at least you can flip through some pages to find what you're looking for, right? Uh,
Well, I am organized with that. I keep everything on my desk. That I'm too organized. I get irritated with myself because I'm a Virgo, and Virgos are perfectionists, and that is not an asset. Believe me.
Well, honey, if you came here, you'd probably freak out in my house because I have so much stuff, and and guess what my degree is in? Organizational leadership. Oh, I can lead but forget that, because what somebody said to me, you might have ADHD because I'm scattered. I'm all over the place with my thoughts, right? But getting back to the kind of journals you can make, you can have one. I have a journal that interpret where I write my dreams down, and then I look up what it means. I have travel journals. Last year we went to France and to La Rochelle, France, and to Paris. And I had a journal I was writing every day, religious. That was intentional. That was intentional because I didn't want to forget anything. Things you're proud of, self-care, and you're not limited to that. But can I tell y'all a little story about how I became a writer and became
Yeah.
fascinated with journaling? My When I was younger, we lived out in an area in Philadelphia called Eastwick, Elmwood. It was out by the airport. It was a little suburban area. There was a lot of black families that lived out there, and a lot of these families were families that journeyed from down south. So we lived there for a long time, at least until I was 8 years old. And then the redevelopment came through and they made everybody move, right? Because they had a whole nother project they had intended, like gentrification, like what we're seeing now. So we moved to West Philadelphia, University City, and my mother told my grandmother my grandmother lived in Virginia, and she told her, you can come and live with us. We have a room for you. So my grandmother came to live with us, and that's when I changed. Because grandma was no nonsense. She wasn't taking no tea for the fever, and she didn't believe that children should have a say in anything. Don't ask a child their opinion, So that kind of shut me out because my mom kind of thought she thought about things differently, and she allowed us to express ourselves and talk about anything we wanted to, even if it seemed kind of weird or out of place for a kid. And I was an old soul, so my brain thought way further than what I should have been thinking at the age I was. So because I felt cut off, I stopped talking. So my mother noticed it and she said, Victoria, what's going on with you? You're not talking to me. You always talk to me. You always got something to say. Why aren't you talking? And I said, well, grandmom said that I was a child and I shouldn't say nothing and keep my mouth shut and don't blah, blah, whatever. So my mom looked, she said, well, look, I don't want you to shut down. So I want you to write me a letter. Just when you think about something you want to talk about, just write me a letter. So why she say that to me? I took that as a whole activity that I needed to do. And I went to my mailman. We had a regular mailman. I went to him. I said, I gotta write letters to my mom. I need. I knew about stationery because we had just learned in school about writing letters, and she knew that too, that we had just learned that. So I said, I need stationery, I need envelopes, I need stamps. He said, who are you writing to? I said, my mom. She said, but you live in the house with you. I said, I know, but I need her. I need to write her a letter, and it needs to come in the mail because I needed to be with her bill so she can. Oh, honey, I had a whole explanation, right? He said, okay, I got you. I'll hook you up. And he did. And then my mom started getting these letters once a week. I would write her a letter. And when she would read the letter, I would see her reading the letter and she would smile. And then later she'd come to me and she'd say, when I do your hair on Saturday, we can talk about the things you wrote in your letter. I'm like, okay, I was happy, because then I could still relieve myself. And I became fascinated with journaling when I was in college. Oh man, I was journaling everything. And some of the topics that I've journaled was my own personal scribbling, plans for my life. I would write if I heard a quote. I would write quotes in a book. Another thing, a lot of us get involved in different projects. Pam is everywhere. She tells everybody about every activity there is in the city to do. If you don't know, Pam is your resource, right? But if she wanted to, she could keep a whole journal of all of the places that she has mapped out for other people to go to, right?
Oh,
Or if you're working on a project in the house, you can have a journal and you could write down what you're trying to achieve. Like I had a journal where I was writing down all of the different improvements that I wanted to have in my house. And once it was done, I'd go back and write when it was done, who did it, and what did they do. I would keep that journal. I'd keep my contracts with there in those journals and everything. So, um, you can have images in your journals, drawings, you could have story pages. You know how you read an article and it's really interesting to you, you don't just want to throw it away, so you tear it out of the newspaper or whatever it is. You can put it in a journal specifically for those types of things, right? If you have a project you're working on, you can have use it for project notes or even for reminders. I don't know what Teddy does because my Teddy is the program director at the job where I work at Writers Room, and he has so many projects in his calendar that sometimes I think he gets a headache looking at it. But I don't know if he has a journal or anything like that, but he could journal what he's doing. So I'm going to go to something else here. We're going to work on an affirmation puzzle. And what we're going to do is we're going to find words in that puzzle. And I want you to select 10 words from that puzzle and circle them, or you won't, because you don't have the live page, just write them down. When you find the word, just write it down. Um, Write in your journal using all the 10 words that you found, and then write a poem, a story, or a letter to yourself. Again, I believe in positivity. Keep it positive. So here is the
Oh
puzzle.
my.
Can you see it clearly?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Let me see if I turn this sideways. Oh, that's better.
Okay, so if you look at it, you can see all kinds of words in there. So try to find 10 words. This says my battery's low, running low, but I have it plugged in. Oh, there we go. I think it's all right now. So you guys good with the affirmation poem?
We didn't find 10 yet.
Well,
I
I
don't
got
That-
three
know why.
words so far. Slow down.
Right.
No, no. I
Four,
just want to
four
make sure you're
words.
seeing the words. That's all.
Oh yeah, we see. I see them.
Did you find anything yet, Pat?
Yeah, I found four words.
Oh, okay. I only found one. Let me be quiet. Did you intend to leave that page? Okay.
I'm sorry, no, I didn't.
Okay.
And remember, these words are going in all different directions, so
Mhm.
how we making out?
9,
I
8.
only have 6.
I need one more and then I can get started on the poem. Oh, did I already have that? Oh, okay, I got my 10. All right, now for the poem. What help?
Well, I'm not finding 10 words, so,
Well,
and I'm usually
it's
good at
probably
this.
about 20 words on here.
Okay.
And I'm doing this along with you. I've done it before, but I'm just I already got that word. Hmm.
Mm.
As many times as I've done this, why am I stuck at 9?
Okay.
Whatever word you have found, just start writing your thoughts, your poems or your story, whatever it is you want to do. How much more time do you need?
At least 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
I
Okay.
do.
Is that good, Pat?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna go off screen for a hot minute.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna try to anyway. Pat, is that stop video?
Hmm?
I can't see the way I normally would see.
Oh, you want to pause the recording?
No, no.
It's still recording.
That's all right. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
You wanted to stop share?
No, I want to not to be able to see me. Is that stop video?
Oh,
On the
hit
If
bottom,
you
the
if
click
you
your camera.
go off screen and we'll tell you if it does.
Click the
hit the
camera
hit
at the
the
bottom.
camera down the bottom.
No, that didn't do it.
That's me. You clicked mine.
I did.
Oh, there
Uh,
you go. You're off screen,
I'm off
Victoria.
screen. Now,
And we
I
can
don't
still
know
see
how I
it.
did it, but I hope I get back on. I'll be right back.
All right, we can still see the PowerPoint.
We can still hear you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, let me see what am I doing here. There I am. I'm back. All right, you finished?
Well, I'm gonna be finished.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Pam,
Yes.
what words did you find?
I found love, kind, rate, celebrate, sin, joyful, believe, okay, courage, and thriving.
Courage and thriving. Okay, cool. And Mary Lou, what words did you find?
I found believe, kind, arm, courage, brave, joyful, celebrate, can, born, and generous.
Okay, you found a whole lot. Okay, thank you. Patricia.
I found celebrate, joyful, harmonious, kind, generous, courage, believe, brave, optimistic, and thriving.
Ooh, optimistic. You found that one. I was
No.
looking. Okay, very good. I found harmonious, believe, joyful, generous, joy, celebrate, kind, brave, courage, and accomplish. I think it was accomplished, or was it accomplishment? Uh, that's all right. I'm gonna go with accomplish. All right. So, who would like to go? I'm not gonna call anybody. Who would like to read what they wrote using their words?
I'll go.
Okay.
I was trying to do something called a poem of affirmations to myself,
Okay.
Mhm.
but I was only able to use 6 of the 10 words so far.
Okay.
All right, so it's 4 affirmations using 6 words so far. I have 4 words left.
Okay.
Believe in your, and these are things I need to tell myself every day. Believe in
Okay.
yourself, find something to celebrate every day, be kind when trying to prove your point, don't wait. Oh, wait a minute. What does that say? Don't wait to have courage. Wait, have the courage not to wait for fear to disappear before doing something brave.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Mm.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So I
All
have
right.
4 words left. I'll still work on afterwards. Put this
Okay.
together.
Very good. Very good. Who's next?
I can go next. I'm not finished.
Okay, that's all right.
Um, I will celebrate a milestone April 25th, 2026, turning 65. My goals are to ask the Creator's grace for sin in the past to silence its karma,
Mhm.
courage to walk joyfully into this new chapter and season, in faith, believing that what is mine by divine right will come into and bless my life at a rate that will take my breath away.
Aw, that's beautiful.
So
Yes, very nice.
I still have love, kind, okay, and I believe thriving to add to this.
Now I gotta find this okay because I did not see that. I'm gonna find it though. Thank you. That was very nice. I like that. All
Thank you.
right, Mary, it looks like you're next.
Oh, okay. I don't know that mine's going to be so good, but I
Oh,
tried to.
don't look,
I
don't put any kind of pressure on yourself.
Okay, I tried to just make it contiguous, and using all the words. So
Okay.
I said, from the time I was born, which was one of my words, my parents always taught us to be kind. That's word
Mhm.
2, to be brave, word 3, joyful, word 4, and courageous. I
All
used
right.
the word courage. To
Uh-huh.
always be generous, another word, and to celebrate our good life, health, and to believe, another word, that
Hmm.
we always have an arm to lean on in our family and in God.
Yes, that's beautiful. Now,
Very nice.
that was very nice. I don't know what you're talking about. That was good. So, okay, so let's see. What do I have? I find joy in being generous with my knowledge. I believe we all have a way with people. Harmonious attributes are a wonderful gift. Brave hearts are needed in this world today. The more I accomplish, the more satisfied I am. That's as far as I got.
That sounds
Very good.
wonderful.
I
Uh,
think that's great.
uh, the reason you can't see me, I think, Victoria, you have me turned off with your camera.
I do?
Uh-huh. When you were starting to click your own, because I can't turn myself back on with my video.
Oh no. There you
Okay,
are.
there it is. Okay.
I
Got it.
apologize for
It's
that.
okay. It's all
Mhm.
right.
I was trying to turn myself off. I didn't realize
Right.
I turned you off.
That is
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you've gotten the idea of like, I mean, you can go online and find all kind of like affirmation puzzles, and you could do the same thing. You could just find a puzzle and find the words and then start writing, stories or, affirmations to yourself using the words that you found. Okay. So that's just another little exercise you can do on your own. So I want to know what your journal will look like. Now, you see this journal on the right hand side? This person is a doodler.
Mhm.
Okay. So they doodle and they doodle and then they start writing things on it, You don't have to do that. But if you're a doodler or if you're an artist or you're a sketcher, you can do those in your journals and you can write on top of it. So I did a painting yesterday, Thursday, a painting I did, and it was the first time that I actually wrote on top of my painting. And I didn't even get upset about it because I was like, I did all this artwork. Why am I gonna write? Why am I gonna write on it? But I did, and I was just so tickled with it. And, Pam was in the class, so she said she'll probably doesn't even realize how joyful I was that I actually did that because I never did that before. So we've shared what we've written, and I want to just know if there's anything that has specifically resonated with you today.
Something resonated with me was just we talk a lot, or at least I talk a lot. I reference this a lot within the work that we do at Writers Room, that it is like borderless. There's no, the beauty is that I always just see that there's no right or wrong to
Mm,
anything that we do when you're looking at your own self-expression, but
mm,
just how creative we can be and still give kind of like everybody their own autonomy in something, like by having the word puzzle there for people to go through and find what's meant for them to see,
mhm,
and then have to use that
mm.
in the writing. I just saw so many different ways that you could use that type of thing for a writing prompt
You're right.
without creating one for
Mm,
people that would be the same. Like we all ended up with the same thing to do in the
mm,
end,
mm,
but prompted by what we saw, not what we
right.
were given per se.
Mhm. Very good. Thank you for that, Pam. Anybody else? Anything else resonate with anybody else?
I'd like to say what this has taught me today, that I need to take more time to journal and to write things down. I don't ever seem to have the time to sit down and just casually do things. I stay busy all the time, it seems.
Mm,
But I want to say I can definitely tell that Victoria is related to my husband, John Griffin. He wrote down everything. He had a notebook for every single thing he did. So I think I
and
need
I
to.
never knew that, Mary.
Oh my goodness. He had a notebook for everything.
Mm,
Everything he did, he made a notebook and labeled the notebook and kept notes on everything.
mm.
So I can see where it comes from. I do, but I'm a little more succinct with mine than John was. He went in
Okay.
great detail. He kept notes on everything, great descriptions on everything he did, everywhere we traveled, everything. So
That's beautiful.
I need to
Maybe,
start doing
Mary,
that.
you can take some of those journals and create an actual book of John, of who John was.
Gee, there are so many, it would take me a year.
That's all right. It takes some people two or three longer than that to write a book.
Uh-huh.
So, and when you say about being really busy, like, I mean, I can't say that you can be any busier than me because I've always got something going on. However, there's times I take time in the very beginning of the day, when in the morning when I'm praying, and I'll take like 5 minutes to write something down, or sometimes I'll do it in the evening. It really depends on like where my head is at the time.
Well, that's what I should do, I think, because I definitely first thing I do when I get up is pray.
Hmm.
But I need to take time. As I said, when you think everything has to be perfect all the time, you stay busy all the time
Mhm.
because you're trying to fix everything and do everything. And uh,
Is that what my
it-
problem is?
so I need to learn to leave things alone and
Yeah.
relax and do other things. So
Okay.
this has taught me that lesson.
Thank you for that. And
Mhm.
Patricia, what's resonated with you today?
Just the looming question when I said it out loud, when you asked me about my experience with journaling, I can't pinpoint when or why I ever stopped journaling. And
Hmm.
I need to start journaling again instead of because I'm such an overthinker. I'll spend the next few months trying to backtrack. Well, what made me stop here? Instead of just opening up a blank book and start journaling again.
Well,
Oh, I
one
need
of
to make that one of my affirmations, overthinking. Oh, I need to stop
oh,
the overthinking.
okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Um, Especially for Victoria and Patricia, who said that they have historically journaled. What then do you do with your journals? Like, do you ever go back and reference them? Have you used them in your writings? Like, how do you keep track of them? Because I know right now we're all moving into the what is it, minimalist, and
Oh,
We're
we probably
trying. We're
and we
trying.
all got a lot.
I don't know about all of that.
Well, with
But
me,
I will.
have I
Okay.
can put my hand right now. I'm so I think Mary mentioned it earlier that she's very organized. I'm very organized in my chaos. So I can look at almost every journal that I have on one shelf of my bookshelf is all my journals. But I have gone back and used for one of my memoirs, or the one on surviving abuse. I went back to my journals during that abusive relationship to remind myself, of certain details that I put in the book to make sure I was checking myself.
Mhm.
And another time I was going through some journals, just rereading, my past, and I realized have just written poems on different pages in my journals. So I went back to pull out all those poems, the ones that I wanted to publish. And so, yeah, I do go back. The ones from my childhood, there is another memoir that I have been thinking about writing. If I do it, then that would be the other purpose for the journals, rereading them to do another memoir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in answer to that question, Pam, I have three bookcases in my office. And those bookcases have many of my journals, like two shelves alone have journals from scriptures I've done all the way back as far as I believe 1989, maybe further than that. And what I did one day is I took all those journals and I actually put a tag on the side of to say what year it was. I know they
Mm.
were scriptural journals, but I wanted to
Mhm.
know what year I wrote them. So when you look on the shelf, you see them lined up just like that.
Oh,
But
I like that.
but I also have I have three drawers that are full. Now the drawers are like this wide, and they're full of journals that I've written over the years. Because you have to understand, my family, my sister, my girls have bought me so many journals over the years. And somebody asked me, do I ever finish a journal? Rarely ever do I finish a journal because many of the journals have tags on them. Like this is um, uh, the positivity journal. This is your dear self journal. This is your encouragement journal. So they have names, and I go to them, and like I might not write in one for a year, but when I go back to it, I just continue like I had just written in it the day before. So I have many, many journals, and I'm starting to slow down on buying the journals, because one thing that I do is if somebody at my church loses a loved one or something, I will give them a journal and write a note in it, write your heart about your loved one, remember, put down your memories of your loved one. And I remember I had a girlfriend who had passed away. She had a brutal death. And I met her aunt and her brother. And when she passed away, I gave the aunt and the brother one of these journals. And I said the same thing, write your heart, write your memories. I ran into her 5 years later. She
Mm.
remembered me. I didn't remember her. And she says, You're Victoria. I'm like, yeah. And you are? She says, I'm Jean. I'm Mary's aunt. I was like, oh my God. I said, yes, how are you? She said, I'm still writing my memories
Mm.
of Mary
Oh,
in that book. And it just melted my heart, just to think that she really, really was doing it. And I've had a number of people say that they still were writing in their journals. And that's what it's all about, because our memories whirl around in our head, but sometimes when we put it down on paper, we can go back and we can like recall that again. But I want to go
mhm,
back to the affirmations because there were some thoughts I had about that. Um, don't don't look for affirmations from others. Like
mhm,
you know how you have people that are always looking for somebody to say something about something that they did. Don't be that person. Don't always
mhm.
be looking. When you try to do something, you just do your best, right? Don't expect an affirmation from someone who does not know your value. If
Yes,
you got somebody
yes.
that's not doing anything in their life, but they got the nerve to say something to you about something that you're not doing, excuse me, I don't think so. And I want you to value your heart because it's too precious to let anybody tear it down, right?
Mm.
Just be you, love you, forgive you, and encourage you. Now, I think the love, the forgive, and the encourage were on that puzzle, right? But that's something that I want you guys definitely um to do. So let's see here.
3 minutes.
These are my books, some of the books I've written. These are my latest books. This book on the left, Between the Lines with Truth and Purpose, was done by me and my partner, Renette Nia Ebo. The middle book is my first medical narrative, and The Triumph Continues is my second medical narrative, where it speaks from the patient's perspective. So I just want to thank you guys for spending time with me for this workshop, and I want to thank the support of Patricia Middleton and her staff with the Village Authors. So we can stop the share now, and I want to go back. I want to view everybody if